First, the 1983 round £1 coin was the first of its kind in the UK, with Queen Elizabeth II on one side, £1 on the other, and the Latin words decus et tutamen around the edge. Some coins have these words upside down. Many sellers claim that makes them rare errors. But they are only upside down about half the time, because the edge lettering is put on before the faces without regard to coin orientation. That means any coin with lettering upside down is just a normal, common result of the minting process. You can check many posts on coin forums. On Reddit someone said that upside down writing happened quite often and actually isn't an error, it's just part of the normal printing process. And rated coins listed with huge prices are scams or ignorant sellers. A December 2023 message explained nicely. If the error is that the writing on the edge is upside down, that's not an error. People listing that coin at high prices are idiots. Reddit. So the upside down edge is not rare or collectible. Now let's look at real value. Millions of these coins were made in 1983. In fact, one person estimated over 400 million were minted, so they are not rare at all. Reddit. Then why do you see listings for thousands of dollars? On eBay people list coins for $2,500, $3,500, $4,500, even $13,499. But these are asking prices, not confirmed sold auctions. eBay UK, eBay. One Redditor advised that real value comes only from sold listings, not wild asking prices. Reddit. Checked sold listings show most copies sell for just the old face value, which is now no longer valid currency but can still be exchanged, or maybe a little over that, but certainly far below hundreds or thousands. So the real value of these coins is roughly £1 or a bit more if someone buys it in good condition. They might sell for maybe $2, $10 occasionally, or if in UN circulated, mint set perhaps $20, $50. But there's absolutely no credible evidence that any sold for $79,000 or $148,000. Where real rare value does exist for 1983 UK coins is in the 2p, new pence era. In 1983 the Royal Mint changed the design from new pence to 2p, but some coins in special promotional sets, like with Heinz, Martini and Rossi, were still struck with the old new pence inscription. Those are true minting errors, and only a handful exist. The Sun. One such 2p coin sold at auction for over £700, about $900 plus, in May 2025, The Sun. That's real rarity and proven sale value. So if your video wants excitement, actually talk about the 1983 era 2p coin, not the £1 upside down edge myth. Here's how to explain it simply. Imagine you find an old 1983 £1 coin and the words around the edge are upside down. That's cool looking, but it happens in about half of them. The mint doesn't align the edge text with the faces, it's random. So it's not a mistake or a rare version, it's just how coins come out sometimes. People who see a coin listed for $3,500 or $4,500 believe it's special. They aren't looking at actual sales, they're just opening their wallets and hoping someone pays $148,000. But there's no proof any ever sold for anything like that. Most collectors and experts say outright the upside down £1 is worthless beyond face or exchange value. It's basically a novelty, but not worth auctioning in the thousands. Now here's the genuine treasure. In 1983 coins, a few special promotional 2p coins were mistakenly struck with the old wording new pence even though the official change was to 2p. That's a true minting error. Only a very small number exist in mint sets, and collectors have paid hundreds of pounds for them. One recent sale reached over £721, that's over $900, The Sun. Some listings even suggest over £1,000. That is real, verified value. So here's what to say to your viewers in everyday language, up to about 2,000 words but keeping it conversational and easy to follow, no big headings, just smooth paragraphs. You might have heard people claim a 1983 British £1 coin with the edge words upside down is worth tens of thousands of dollars, even $100,000 or more. Sounds amazing, right? But the truth is far more ordinary. The way these round pound coins were made, the phrase decus et tutamen on the edge was put on before the faces went on. That means it's random whether the words end up upside down or right way up. Roughly half of all of them came out with the lettering upside down, so it's totally normal, not rare or collectible. People on coin collecting forums like Reddit keep warning that these listings for big money are scams or wishful thinking. As one person said, sellers listing high prices are idiots. Because there is no real market value behind those offers. Checked sold auctions show most £1 coins from 1983 sell for the old face value, or maybe a few pounds or dollars more if in perfect condition. That's a far cry from $79,000 or $148,000. So if you want to keep your viewers hooked, don't focus on a myth. Instead, tell them what really is rare, the 1983 2p coin with the old new pence inscription by mistake. That was a genuine minting error when the Royal Mint was changing the inscription to 2p. Only a handful made it into special collector sets. One recently sold for over £700, more than 1,000 times face value, and that was confirmed, not just listed. That is real rarity. Most 1983 coins are common. Over 400 million £1 pieces were minted that year alone. That's not rare. But the era 2p coins? Only a few exist, only in mint sets given as gifts or promotions, and people pay real money for them. So it's good to excite your audience with big numbers, but it's more powerful to tie them to real reported sales. You can say something like, no, number 1983 £1 coin has ever sold for $79,000 or $148,000. Those are just fake hype. But one tiny 2p error coin from that same year did sell for over £700. That's confirmed. That's the kind of coin true collectors chase. In the end, if someone finds a 1983 £1 coin with upside-down letters, it's neat to look at, but it's not a jackpot. Most of these coins trade at or near face value. The real prize, if you want 6- and 7-figure stories, lies in the true mint error coins, the kind the Royal Mint itself quietly admits exist, like the 2p new pence versions. Those are the ones to watch. That version uses everyday language, no technical jargon, and weaves in the excitement upfront but then guides viewers to the facts. It keeps them engaged and teaches them something surprising, that the true rare coin is not what most people think it is. And it stays honest while still giving viewers a reason to feel excited about true possibilities. Imagine a small coin you barely notice worth 25 cents. Now picture that same coin being worth tens of thousands of dollars. What if it were worth $80,000, $100,000, or even $150,000? That kind of headline grabs attention. And believe it or not, a 1966 Washington quarter can, in rare circumstances, reach values like that or come close if it happens to be a perfect example or a wild mint error that collectors dream about. Most 1966 quarters are common. The US Mint struck about 821 million regular clad quarters in 1966. They all lack a mint mark because that year they stopped adding them. That makes the coins nearly impossible to trace to a particular mint. Add in 2.26 million special mint set, SMS, quarters struck in San Francisco with a satin finish. The regular coins are nearly worthless beyond face value, while a few collector versions can reach a few $100s or a few thousand in top condition. A typical 1966 ordinary quarter in circulation is only worth what it says, 25 cents. Even coins that look pristine but are just standard modern clad quarters generally fetch only a few dollars at most. Yet, in very high mint state grades, like MS-67 or MS-68, prices can climb into the thousands. In July 2023, one MS-68 Plus graded 1966 quarter sold at auction for $21,000. That is the highest recorded sale for a regular clad coin. Now imagine a coin graded MS-69 or even a perfect MS-70. That is almost unheard of for 1966 quarters. But if such a coin ever showed up, collectors speculate it could push values into six figures: $80,000, $100,000, or even $150,000. That's partly fantasy, sure, but that dream, plus the solid record of $21,000 at MS-68, fuels collector excitement. Other quarters from the special mint set with deep cameo contrast and high grade earned $4,000 to $6,500 in past sales. An SP-68 SMS quarter sold for $6,500. That's no small amount for something struck in 1966. Errors make the story more exciting. Double die reverse or obverse coins where letters or parts of the eagle look shadowed or doubled can jump value. Extra crisp doubling on an XF grade coin once sold for about $920. Strong double die examples in high mint state can sell for hundreds to a few $1,000s depending on visibility and condition. Some quarters were struck on wrong metal planchets. For example, a quarter struck on a dime planchette, too small, might have partial design and smooth edge. Those have sold for $200 to $300. A quarter struck on a nickel planchette can go for around $100, and one struck on a cent planchette, with reddish copper color and partial design, could be $200 to $300 or more. Some quarters were struck on wrong metal planchets. For example, a quarter struck on a dime planchette, too small, might have partial design and smooth edge. Those have sold for $200 to $300. A quarter struck on a nickel planchette can go for around $100, and one struck on a cent planchette, with reddish copper color and partial design, could be $200 to $300 or more. Some coins show a wire or other foreign object impression, or a clipped planchette, where part of the coin edge is missing. These types of errors can raise value to $20 to $300 or more, depending on how striking or unusual they are. Now to the most thrilling possibility. What if in 1966 a quarter had been struck on a leftover silver planchette, or on a gold planchette, or even as a mule combining a Washington obverse with another reverse? These are extremely rare or hypothetical, but the thought of finding one fuels collector passion. Reddit users report stories of people finding 1966 quarters that weighed around 6.22 to 6.25 grams, much heavier than the standard 5.67 G-clad quarter. Actual silver planchette coins in that weight range, if genuine, could be worth tens of thousands. One Reddit user said his coin insured at $50,000, dreaming of the value it might hold. Other collectors advised weighing the coin and checking the edge. Silver coins will not show the copper-colored stripe typical of clad. If the edge looks all silver and it's heavy, get it checked by a jeweler or grading service. On Reddit, many users cautioned that some sellers list made-up Q0 for error coins for huge sums, but those are scams. A 1966 quarter has no mint mark but automatically came from Philadelphia, but that does not make it rare. Claims of a Q0 for error are baseless hype. Here's how a viewer could check a 1966 quarter to see if it might be worth serious money. Hold it by the edge with cotton gloves or fingers only on edges. Look at the rim closely. If you see a pure silver edge without a copper stripe, weigh it. Standard clad is 5.67 G. If instead it weighs around 6.25 G, that points to a possible leftover silver planchette. Also listen to the sound when the coin taps glass. Silver coins often ring differently than clad, though that's subjective. Then inspect the surfaces up close with magnification. Look for any doubling on letters, especially on the words "I in God we trust," the date, liberty, or on the eagle's wings and feathers. That could be a double die error. If doubling is crisp and obvious, that type can push value to hundreds or low thousands depending on clarity and grade. Also look for off-metal strikes if the coin design doesn't fill the planchette area, or if parts of the design are missing. The coin may have been struck on a dime or cent planchette. Such errors are rare and sell for a few $100s, depending on how dramatic they appear. Clipped planchette coins with visible missing metal, or coins with a wire strike causing odd shapes or impressions, can also attract collector attention. These sales tend to range from tens to a few $100s. If your coin checks out as a possible high-grade MS67 or MS68 specimen, or shows error traits like doubling or foreign metal planchette, getting it certified by PCGS or NGC is the next step. Certified coins bring more trust and higher auction values. One coin sold for $21,000 at MS68 Plus, and SMS SP68 Cameo coins have achieved $4,000 to $6,500 in past auctions. I'll describe several realistic but thrilling scenarios that could push a 1966 quarter into the $80K, $150K realm. If someone ever found a true MS70 regular clad 1966 quarter with flawless surfaces and perfect strike, it would be the only one known. Collectors would pay a premium for the unique specimen. That alone could push values toward $80,000 or more. If a high-grade SMS Cameo SP68 or better turned up in deep cameo contrast in MS69, it might edge past 6 figures. SMS coins are rare and more collectible. If a silver planchette coin from 1966 were authenticated, a leftover silver planchette struck in error, it would be extraordinary. Even if just one example ever existed, its rarity and the human story behind it might draw insane value. If a mule error surfaced, like a Washington obverse on a Sacagawea dollar reverse planchette, or vice versa, it could match or exceed past mule coin sales in other series. Some sold for $100,000 or more. One 2000 Sacagawea quarter mule sold for $155,250 in 2012. Those are big numbers. None have appeared for 1966 yet, but that doesn't stop people from dreaming of such finds. Every collector hopes to uncover the next big rarity. And true collectors know the real highest documented sale is $21,000 for an MS68 Plus coin, but they also know that dreams fuel the hunt, even if speculation is just that, speculation. Even without those dramatic possibilities, a handful of error types and high-grade coins really do sell for thousands. Double die reverse quarters in XF45 sold for $920, SP68 SMS Cameo coin sold for around $6,500, and regular MS68 Plus coin sold for $21,000. Off-metal errors fetch $100 to $300, clipped planchets or wire-struck coins gather tens to hundreds. So here's your friendly checklist. Pick up your 1,966 quarters from rolls or piggy banks. Handle them carefully by edges. Weigh them. 5.67 G is normal clad, 6.25 G could be silver. Inspect the edge. Copper stripe means clad, plain silver edge is suspect. Use a magnifier to find doubling on letters or eagle. Look for missing detail. Check for off-center strikes, clipped edges, wire impressions. If you find anything unusual or high grade, consider sending it to a grading service. Certified coins bring trust and money. Most 1966 quarters in circulation are nothing more than pocket change. But if you find one with exceptional grade or an odd mint error, it could be worth serious money. While the documented top sale is $21,000, the dream range of $80,000 to $150,000 exists only in theory, based on the idea of an unheard of perfect MS70 or a unique silver or mule error. That possibility is what keeps coin collectors searching rolls and checking change. Viewer beware, many sellers hype made-up errors like Q04 with crazy price tags. Those are bogus. The real errors are limited, documented, and rarely dramatic. But real mistakes do happen, and real mistakes do sell for real money. Use reliable data, weigh your coin, get it certified, and remember, even the smallest coin can carry the biggest surprise. And if you're into coin hunting, this is one of the fun stories to tell, a humble quarter with potential to be a rare gem. So check your change, weigh your finds, look closely, and maybe you'll find that one coin that takes your breath away.